Hello and welcome to V8 on live and exclusive coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series, bringing you round 3, all the action from Barbon Motorsport Park with our good friends, thanks to V8's online superstore, Direct Clutch Services, and of course V8 Supercar Fan Group. I'm your host for tonight, Stephen Sandman Clark, filling in for Jay Kennedy, who's not firing on all cylinders tonight, and someone who slipped into the commentary box to give me a bit of a hand. It's Clayton Brooks. Brooksy, how you going, mate?
Good, thanks, Sandman. How are you, mate?
Very good, mate. Looking forward to this round. Unfortunately, haven't done many laps around here, but very picturesque racetrack, easy for me to say. And looks like the guys going to have their work cut out for them. We saw a brilliant qualifying session, and I reckon we're in for a ripper.
Yeah, certainly a very picturesque racetrack with the statues of the animals and whatnot around the place. And not much rest for the drivers around here. Plenty of undulation, not really any long straights to talk of, so they are going to have their work cut out for them.
And we just wrapped up with a brilliant qualifying session. Our pole sitter coming into the final session was Justin Ruggier, but we saw a great battle between Madison Down and Ruggier in that final qualifying session, with both of them improving on their times for the week. But unfortunately, the one who got the overall pole position was Madison Down, punching out a 24.594, but extremely close between him and Justin Ruggier.
Yeah, it was a brilliant qualifying session. Madison pumping out that time. Really looking forward to the battle between those two. I'm sure Sean Kelly and Josh Muggin are going to have something to say about it as well.
You're not wrong. Our track previews on screen. 16 turns around Barbon's Motorsport Park, 3.83 kilometres, and what have we got? 24 laps around here, so no pit stops. It's a flat-out sprint race, and it's going to be interesting because a couple of drivers have sort of mentioned that it may be tough to pass around here. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah, it's very tough to pass. From my personal experience, turn one is an option, but you've got to be very committed. You've got to probably bit of room given by both drivers if you want to make that pass. Also down into turn 5 is an opportunity, but apart from that, there's no real passing opportunity, so the start is going to be very important for all the guys tonight.
Now we'll quickly run through the grid for the starting order for tonight's race, round 3, the iRacing V8 Supercar Series. Your pole sitter Madison Down over Justin Ruggier, Sean Kelly in 3rd, Josh Muggleton in 4th, and a great lap for Lee Day in top 5 in 5th place. Wayne Burke in 6th, James McKnight in 7th, Lee Ellis in 8th, Scott Uran 9th, and in 10th it's Michael Fabian. In 11th place, Tobias Zerny, Matt Nethercote in 12th, Dean O'Brien in 13th, Bo Cubis, I may have got that wrong, sorry Bo if that's wrong, 14th place, Mullen in 15th, Marty Atkins in 16th, Ian Ford in 17th, Jason Black in 18th, Mitch Abril in 19th, Dave Oliver in 20th. In 21st, Leighton Fine, Michael Schreier in 22nd, Dale Nish in 23rd, Carl May in 24th, and Brad Ryan in 25th. Hasn't punched out of time, but he's slipped into the field, so good job there for Brad.
Yeah, it is a good job by Brad to turn up. He hasn't been around. It's good to see him back. Same with Scott Uran. Good to see some faces coming back to the series.
Of course, just before we get started, our man who's got his finger on the pulse all week long, Reece Gardner, mate. Reece, how you going, buddy?
I'm not going too bad, guys. I'm really looking forward to this race, Barbon Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Of course, in my opinion, it's one of the best motor racing circuits to be constructed in the last 10 or 15 years. I just wanted to jump in just before the race starts. The cars are just about to grid up now, but I'll just fire off some quick stats for you. 67 litres is the fuel load that the drivers are going for. No pit stops, so they're going to want to look after their tyres. Sean Kelly from Lazy Man Racing in particular, I've heard from him that he's trying to run lower tyre pressures. He had a few issues with overheating tyres, and Marlon McMullen, who did the hot lap before qualifying, his advice to his teammates was don't use your rears, don't scrub your fronts, and Ryan Day jokingly told him he wants nothing worse than 5th from Marlon.
Got his work cut out for him, hasn't he?
Definitely.
All right, buddy. Well, we look forward to catching you up throughout the event, and you'll hear a couple of whispers, no doubt, up and down throughout the field. So thanks, mate.
I'll keep you guys updated.
Well, here we go. The revs are starting to rise for round 3 here at Barbon Motorsport Park. It's Madison Down and Justin Ruggier starting off the front, and it's a great start for Down, and Justin Ruggier struggling off the line. Looks like he might drop back to 4th.
terrible start by Justin. He just bogged it right down and couldn't go anywhere.
Bruce hung out a little bit there. Looks like Muggo there side by side there. So Sean Kelly there, as Muggo really got the position on there. Looks like Kelly may drop another spot here because Ruggie is going to have a red hot go, but he's on the outside unfortunately, so it's going to make work cut out. Looks like he's done it too, so it's Ruggie who slipped into third place right behind Josh Muggleton. Fairly clean back behind there too, so that's good.
Yeah, Justin will be filthy on himself after that start. I know he's been practicing quite a bit, so he'll be pretty dirty and he'll be watching Madison drive away and he's making his blood boil right now, I think.
So the way it goes is Madison down over Josh Muggleton, Justin Ruggie back to third place, Sean Kelly fourth, Lee Day fifth, Wayne Birkin sixth, Lee Ellis seventh, James McKnight eighth, Michael Fabian ninth and Tobias Cerny. That's your top 10 for the start of this race. We're hearing a couple of cars are in the pits. Yeah, Michael Schreier and Jason Black are in pit lane, so not sure what's happened there, if they've had a drama or looks like maybe an internet connection issue. No, it looks like some contact possibly. Yeah, we'll try and see if we can find a replay. There was a big drama back in the pack there, and Jason Black's got some pretty heavy damage, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's coming out of turn 2 and it looked like there's quite a few cars involved. Leighton Fine and too many going on here. Michael Schreier, Jason Black, they all can sort of come together. Constantina effect up over the rise coming out of turn 4.
Check out these pictures here. Josh Muggleton definitely got his work cut out for him there. Ruggie is right there, so Ruggie, like you said, he'd be kicking himself for that start. Not quite sure there what happened, whether I think it may have just bogged down a little bit, so didn't quite get the start he needed, and that worked out really nicely for Muggo, because Muggo started in 4th place, so to find himself in P2 behind his teammate, he'd be fairly chuffed with that start.
Yeah, it's a great start by Muggo. Currently attached 1-2 as Madison has a big moment just up in front.
It looked like he may have just touched the grass there and had a huge wiggle and had to really get out of the throttle, so he's lost a little bit of ground there, but nevertheless he didn't spear off the racetrack, so he's still in one piece. That's the main thing. Check out this battle on screen. James McKnight, Michael Fabian, these guys are battling out for 9th and 8th.
Yeah, with Tobias and Scotty Wren right behind as well. Got a bit of a train going.
Be interesting to hear Scotty's thoughts. He's been out of the seat. We touched on that through qualifying and all that, but he's been out of the seat for a little while, so a decent qualifying position for him, and finds himself in P11 having a decent battle here with Tobias Cerny.
Yeah, he has a look up the inside. He's going to try and dive down the inside into turn 5.
He's got enough to get the job done. He's got position. Tobias really sticking in there, having a good side-by-side battle there. It's going to continue too. He hasn't given up at all.
No, Tobias is going to have the line for the next corner for these S-bends.
Oh, it's the last of the late breakers there. Oh, they're still side-by-side. A tricky piece of racetrack to do that. Really great racing from Tobias. I tell you what, Scotty's lost nothing. He's been out of the seat for a little while, but he hasn't given up, has he?
No, I was just talking in qualifying there before. It's like he's never left the series. Yeah. He's got all the skills that he used to display.
Check out this battle between Wayne Burke, Lee Ellis, Lee Day's there as well. So let's see, and looks like Wayne's there in 6th place. So battling out for 5th and 6th with Lee Day as well. So bit of a I guess it was a sort of single file. The guys are just sort of getting into a bit of a rhythm. The guys got 24 laps to sort themselves out, but it's pretty much single file, pretty much from start to finish.
Getting reports that Bo Cubis has had a spin. Yeah, back at the final corner. No, he's turned Matt Methencote around, I think it was, and he's turned around as there's showing contact.
Tell you what, just having a look at some of the spectator chat there, and people have noticed that good old Brad Ryan has got himself into 14th position at this stage when he started back in 25th, so not a bad effort there for Brad.
Yeah, he's not a bad pedal, Brad. It was a bit of a shame he hasn't been racing so much. He a couple of really strong results in previous seasons.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame when real life gets comes into play sometimes. You can't commit to sim racing as much as we'd like, but nevertheless, it's good to see him back and having a real red hot go. And so these pictures on board with Brad. Sorry, mate.
No, I was going to say the same thing. He's tucked up behind Marty Atkins there. He'll be looking to make this up into P13 soon.
Yeah, the car looks good. Looks like he's got some decent pace on board, so he's definitely giving Marty Atkins something to think about as these guys come through the tricky right-hander.
Lee Day and Wayne Burke having a good battle now. I was watching these two in the previous race and they pretty much matched the speed. They swapped positions a couple of times. It was all clean racing, so it'll be a good battle to watch out for over these next 20 odd laps.
Yeah, you beat me to the button, mate. You called it. Wayne Burke really having a red hot go over the back of Lee. Of course, Wayne is no stranger to V8s online. He's obviously having a red hot go in the truck series too.
He goes okay in the Grand Am as well, Sam Am.
He's a busy boy, isn't he? So we'll quickly look back up front. It's Madison Down leading over his Tats.com teammate Josh Muggleton, but Muggo's still got his work cut up for him with Ruggier right behind him. The times between Ruggier and Muggleton, you can't pretty much split them. The guys are pretty much doing time for time each lap round, 25.8 to 25.8, these guys, so nothing in it, although exactly just as I say that, Ruggie's made a liar. I mean, he gone 2/10 quicker that last time round, so
they're actually catching Madison at the moment, Sam, and he's just done a 26 flat, so they've caught a couple of tenths on Madison that previous lap.
And we've got our man in the pits, Reece Gardner. Reece, you got something for us, buddy?
Yeah, TTR Spy Guy has dropped me his first information of the race. Madison Down, the leader, as well as Lee Ellis currently running in 7th. They're having a little bit of trouble with the car, apparently. They're finding it rather slippery, so not exactly with the car in race trim. Slight issues, probably.
You just touched on exactly what I was about to say there, Reece. Just watching Muggo, Madison and Lee Ellis, they all seem to be struggling with those cars a little bit. I was quite surprised Madison with the clean air. He hasn't really pulled out the gap where we'd expect with these guys driving in clean air.
There's this battle up here. Scott Uren still in the thick of it, having a nice little battle here with Michael Fabian. Interesting to hear about these guys' reports with their cars, because if you're not familiar with the cars, the characteristic of these things do change when you put a fuel load. So maybe they had their setups possibly more set up for qualifying rather than race trim.
And I'm pretty sure none of them did the early race, so this could be their first run on full fuel.
Jeez, how's these pictures on board? Josh Muggleton's Tats.com Falcon. You can see Ruggie is right there harassing the back. He's definitely not. He's not letting Muggo take a break for a second. Oh, big moment there! He's gone. A big spin back there. Can he hold on to it? He doesn't make contact with anything, but he's going to lose a couple of positions. Lost a lot of ground on the leaders, and now he'll be getting harassed there. He's going to drop a couple of more spots now. Wayne Burke's got past him. Lee Day's past him, and Lee Ellis is there now side by side with him. Can he hold on? He's going to try the inside line here. He'll definitely have track position as he fires up the inside. So Justin Ruggie, his day's gone from bad to worse. Didn't get all a great start. Lost a couple of spots. It looks like he's made a position there. Wayne Burke may have got an off track and had to slow down a little bit. So he's actually got to get a couple of spots back. But Justin Ruggie had a big moment there as he got sideways.
Yeah, well, just mentioning the TTR cars weren't looking good, and I think Justin just could sense that himself. Got the power down a little too early, still on the grass, and just got a big wheel on.
Had a wiggle, got the left rear into the grass, and that was it. So that really takes the pressure off Muggleton, because he was, if we just touched on, he was a couple of tenths quicker each lap over Muggleton and down. So he's going to have his work cut out for him now to make those positions up.
Got a good battle between Dean O'Brien and Marty Atkins and Brad Ryan at the moment.
Yeah, this battle is for 12th, 13th and 14th. You can see these guys really moving about, and they're so close. As we just saw what Rugby did, it's so easy just to get a tyre off onto the grass and have a big moment. Oh, we've just seen one of the cars off in front too. Is that Justin Ruggier? Has had another moment. So Justin Ruggier has lost a couple of more spots. He's gone wide, he's got sideways and got off into the gravel. Had a big moment coming into the, and got sideways through the gravel trap. So all those positions that he made up from Wayne Burke, Lee Ellis, they're all gone away now. So he's going to find himself outside the top 10 now, I believe.
Yeah, he'll be back in 11th spot, I think, behind Matthias.
So, I don't know, I think it may be a little bit of frustration, unfortunately, for Ruggier. He's not all happy with his car, and looked like that was under brakes. So, unfortunately, he didn't hit anything, so he's got going again, but he finds himself outside the top 10.
Yeah, he'll be really kicking himself. I'm glad I'm not in the garage with him at the moment. Well, yeah, we're trying to hunt down Wayne Burke at the moment. With all that commotion, Lee Day sort of stretched out a little bit from these two.
Yeah, it gives him a bit of breathing space, doesn't it, which works out nice for him. It really does help when you haven't got someone sort of messing around in your rearview mirror. Oh, there's a little bit of action here with Marty Atkins, Brad Ryan. Brad's still sitting in 14th place, Marty Atkins in 13th and Dean O'Brien in 12th, but a bit of concertina effect there. These guys really having a red hot go.
Yeah, with these guys battling, bringing Mullen into play with them as well. Just up in front of these guys, you've got Tobias, Scott Uren, James McKnight is all over the back of Michael Fabian. They're having a real good battle.
Yeah, saw that nice little slide there from James McKnight, so really working hard on that left rear.
We touched on the tyres before the race, how they could heat up and whatnot. I think that's what we might be seeing. A few of them aren't looking after the tyres, and cars are getting very loose, especially on the throttle at the moment.
Yes. Speaking of loose, I mean, you see these cars moving around, and there was talk in our preview before qualifying that Marlon McMullen was saying that he'd quite enjoy a pit stop around here, and I think that's just because they'd love a fresh set of tyres underneath them.
Yeah. But sorry, you guys see me?
No, I was just going to touch on some of that gains and losses. Not too hard to work out, but unfortunately Justin Ruggier is our biggest loss there of positions, and the man on the move is Brad Ryan, who's now, I believe, he's into P11. Oh, sorry, no, he's up 11 spots in P14. Sorry about that.
Tell you what, he wants to make it 12 spots. He's all over the back of Marty Atkins at the moment.
Don't forget, if you're a fan of Facebook, jump on our Facebook page for V8s Online, and of course you can check out all our replays, regardless whether it's the V8 Supercars Grand Am Series and the Truck Series. You can check out all the action for our replays on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. If you've unfortunately missed any of the rounds, they're all right there for you to enjoy. And we believe Reece Gardner's got some more goss for us. Reece, you there, mate?
Yeah, I am. I've got 2 bits of information here. I've been listening in on the Overclockers guys, Michael Fabian and looks to be Scott Uren as well. They are saying that McKnight's tyres, James McKnight, probably won't last long like this, so keep an eye on James McKnight and we'll see what happens with him. TTR Spy Guy has also given me another little bit of information, a possible throttle linkage, quote-unquote, problem with Madison's car. He's not getting 100% throttle.
Oh, okay, well that could be costly. Thanks, mate.
So I was just watching while Reece was talking there. I believe it was Dean O'Brien's got loose there coming out of turn 5 and T-boned Marlon McMullen, and Brad Ryan's moved up inside of Marty Atkins. So Brad Ryan up 2 spots and Dean Bryan's lost quite a few.
So check out some of the action of James McKnight too. McKnight has really got his hands full. Scott Uren, Tobias Zerti and Justin Ruggie are right there, all trying to get position. This battle is back there for 8th, 9th, 10th.
Got the replay of Dean O'Brien up at the moment. He gets loose, goes into Brad goes through and he T-bones just accidental course slides across the track and straight into Marlon. So hopefully Marlon and Dean don't have any damage from that incident.
While you guys were looking at that, I was having a look at Scott Uren, and he ran a little bit wide in turn 2 and let Justin Ruggier through, so Justin's now back up into 10th place. Or 9th, I apologise.
Yeah, good bounce back there for Ruggier. Like you said, mate, he's right there at the back of McKnight. We touched on his problems, so shouldn't be too much longer, hopefully, before Ruggier can get one more spot, but geez, Ruggier wouldn't believe it. Oh, as he looks up the inside, has a bit of a look, thinks better of it and gets out. Doesn't want to make contact. Ruggier's had one of those nights that you want to forget quickly after not getting a great start and having 2 offs. It's really not something that we see from the likes of Justin Ruggier.
No, definitely not. It's I suppose everyone's proves that these guys are human, I suppose, does it, see? I mean, yeah, he'll just want to. Well, he should be just thinking about consolidating some points now. Bring it home in the top 10 and move on to next week, I think.
Let's have a look at this battle. Sean Kelly is really starting to close that margin on Josh Muggleton. We heard from our man in the pits, Reece Gardner, saying that the TTR boys aren't all that happy with their car at the moment, so this is not a bad job for Kelly, who's really starting to pull these guys in. Just hearing that Justin Ruggier has got McKnight now, so that puts Ruggier up into 8th spot. Geez, so many good battles going up and on downfield. I don't know where to look. And we're just hearing, speaking of social media, we've just hit 900 likes on the old Facebook page, so a big thank you to everyone who's clicked the like button, and of course if any of your friends out there have checked out our page and haven't hit the like button, get in their ear and see if we can crack 1,000.
Got a newcomer sort of to the Series and Ford is all over the back of Dave Oliver at the moment, back in 18th and 19th position. Having a real good battle back there, a pair of them.
Oh, he's going to stick it up the inside here maybe. He's thinking about it. Exactly what you're saying. Oh, as Oliver runs a little bit wide there. So they're not giving an inch, these two, and that's exactly what we talk about week in, week out. You don't have to be up the front to have a good battle. There's always decent battles up and down the field, and these guys are racing for 18th and 19th. Check out this action up a little bit further up the grid. Lee Ellis in P5 and Wayne Burke in P6. So looks like Ellis's car isn't too bad, but again, one of those TTR guys where they aren't all terribly happy with their car, but this doesn't look as loose as what the the Tats.com boys were earlier.
But Ruggy is all over the back of Michael Fabian now, trying to get 7th position.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have a look up the inside. He's got position. He'll get up the inside. Nice bit of work there from Ruggier. Ruggier's got to make sure it's clear though to turn it for the next one, and he does. So a nice job there for Ruggier. A nice little bounce back, unfortunately, because of all these incidents that he's had tonight. But that now moves him up into 7th place.
I've got to also say it was well done by Michael Fabian. He knew Justin had a bit more pace than him. He didn't want to fight it too bad to bring up James McKnight and Scott Urin up to his tail. So it's good smart driving by Michael Fabian.
We're just hearing that Marty Atkins has had a big moment coming on the front straight too, all by himself. Just got the left rear under the grass and unfortunately gone round.
Might be a night for it, Sam, man. We're seeing drivers that are usually very consistent and clean making mistakes.
Yeah, when the pressure's on, the guys having a red hot go. It's it's not all that difficult to run just a little bit wide, and unfortunately with the pace that these guys have got at this racetrack, it doesn't take much, and as soon as you touch the grass, you're pretty much a passenger. So unfortunately, he didn't make heavy contact, so that's all right. I'm just going to have a look at this battle here between Lee Ellis and Wayne Burke too, because Wayne looked like he was almost going to get the job done there on Lee Ellis, but Lee just gently closed the door on him. So definitely got his work cut up for him, Lee Ellis, and looks like Wayne's got the pacier car of the two at the moment.
Yeah, he's having a little look up inside there at the second last corner. Lee Ellis will know it's a hard track to pass, so if he can just position the car good, he should be okay. It's still, I think, what is it, nine laps to go still, so he's got a bit of a job in front if he wants to hold on.
So we'll quickly touch on the top 10 as we hit lap 16 of 24. It's Madison Down and Josh Muggleton leading in Tats.com 1-2, but Sean Kelly is right there all over the back of Muggleton. That gap between Kelly and Down is now under 2 seconds now, so Kelly really the pacier of the three at the moment, so a good little battle there for the top three. It's Lee Day in 4th, and then Lee Ellis and Wayne Burke putting on a great battle for 5th and 6th. Justin Ruggier back to P7, Michael Fabian in 8th, James McKnight in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is Scott Uran. So just hearing Ellis has lost a position there to Wayne Burke.
Yeah, just coming out of the fast chicane, he's just had
sideways.
a massive slide, yeah. Out onto the grass, couldn't get the power down.
Nice recovery. Our man Reece Gardner's in the pit lane. Reece, you got something for us?
Yeah, I have. I've got two little bits of information from Lazy Man Racing. I've been listening in on their team garage as well. Marty Atkins, who was battling with Brad Ryan, who spun, Brad commented that about a lap or two before Atkins spun, that now that he was in front, his car feels much better. And Mitchell Abrahall said that the more the tyres go off, the more you got to pound the curbs. So they're making a few comments about the way their cars are driving, and I'm not too sure what to take from that.
There you go, nice bit of goss there. It's always good to hear some of the drivers' their thoughts as this race goes on, but interesting to see about trying to pound the curbs when these tyres go off. But nevertheless, if it's working for them, that's the main thing. Nice little battle here. Marlon definitely got his hands full with Mitch Abel. These guys racing for 13th and 14th position.
We've got Justin Ruggier closing really quick on Lee Ellis and Wayne Burke at the moment too.
How's Lee Ellis thing? He's not real happy with that. That's really sideways, so it'll just be a moment or two before Ruggier snaps that position up, because Lee's really struggling with that Hype Simulator Falcon.
Yeah, you can see from the on-board shot, he really closes up under brakes into the second last corner.
This onboard stuff will be a really good indication of just to see how much Ellis' thing's moving around. We're hearing that Sean Kelly may have had a moment, so we'll try and flick through the replays and see if we can bring that action to you.
Yeah, just come up to the second last corner there, suffered a little bit of understeer and just drifted wide, just at the pit entry there, back on track, but a couple of seconds lost to Josh Muggleton.
Oh, have a look at this battle there. Ruggier really hounding the back of Ellis's car. Ellis is seeing moving around and Ruggier trying to get on the power a little bit sideways there on the throttle, but really he knows that there's an easy couple of spots here if he can just keep his composure. You can see Ellis's thing is really moving around and Ruggier's got decent pace on board, so if he can keep his head together, he can get Ellis and then look forward to Wayne Burke and then possibly grab a top 5 out of today.
Yeah, he's just got to be patient. There's what have we still got 6, 7 laps to go. So he's just got to be patient. These positions are doable.
Oh, here he goes. He's going to look up the inside here. Contact! Oh no! They've both gone
exactly
round.
What I was just saying.
Ruggier and Ellis have gone round. So Ruggier tried the dive bomb on the inside of Ellis, and unfortunately that's come unstuck for Ruggier. So all that hard work making up the positions has all gone pear-shaped for him.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was just saying. If you're patient, there was plenty of time left. But nevertheless, he gets just to do it all again now.
Yeah, really got up the inside there, and unfortunately Ellis was right. The nice save from Ellis, who managed to gather it up and keep going. But unfortunately, was that 3, 4 spots, maybe 5 spots that Ruggier's lost. So that's back to P12 when he was looking at a possible, well, it could have been a possible top 5. So a bit of breathing space for Muggleton now after Kelly's moment. And Ellis has definitely got his hands full now because Ellis is there with McKnight, Fabian, Scott Uren and Tobias Zerny not too far back there. So Ellis really got to keep his mind straight and make sure he looks after those rears because that car is really moving around a lot. Oh, he's all over the back of him. Really looking for a moment. Looks like to see if he can get some pace through this turn. It's this real long right-hand sweeper. If he can get up the inside here, not quite.
Yeah, Lee Ellis's tyres might be a little bit overheated from the slide that he had with Justin. They might take a couple of laps to normalise again.
Well, while all that's been happening, we'll quickly have a look up front. It's Madison Down leading over his teammate Josh Muggleton. These guys have got a bit of a margin now back to Sean Kelly, who unfortunately had a bit of a moment, having a real red hot go to the back of Muggleton, but Sean's still holding on to a decent top 3 position there. Lee Day back in 4th, Wayne Burke in 5th, and then this pack, it's Lee Ellis, McKnight, Fabian, Scott Uren. They're all battling it out for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Fabian's here having a look on the back of McKnight there, thinks better of it. Tricky part of the racetrack there when they go through that that crest down into the chicane into the right hand of the guys. Pretty much almost feel like you're doing it blindfolded, don't you?
You do. It just drops away from you, and it's really muscle memory that gets you through that part. Michael Fabian has a moment coming out of the fast chicane, and Scott Uren's right over the back of him now.
Oh, McKnight's there too, all over the back of Ellis. You can see he's really carrying some pace through those turns. Oh, and Scott Uren there. I tell you what, these guys fairly hungry. They know they're running out of laps. It's lap 20 of 24, so, well, they're starting lap 21 now, so they know time's slowly running out, so they need to make those positions if they've got the car pace.
Especially for Scott Uren at the moment, you can see it just there's just a couple of positions in front. He could get over 6 in the top split.
Oh, we're hearing that Madison Down is... I've actually lost him off the screen. No, he's back. Oh, no. So it looks like Madison Down's having his typical internet dramas, unfortunately. His ping sitting about 800 at the moment. So fingers crossed he'd be saying that he could just get a couple more laps out of this thing and bring it home, because he's got an easy win here at the moment. He's got a bit of a margin over his teammate, but he really needs his internet to hold up.
Yeah, it's just starting to normalise again for him now. It's just a little scare.
Tell you what, this battle, it looks like Mitch Apple's just run a little bit wide. He's off onto the grass. Can he keep it straight? He's going to give up a lot of ground to Marlon McMullen, but unfortunately he lost some time there, but didn't loop it. That's the main thing. But that battle was definitely heating up, and you could see he was having a real red hot go, and unfortunately just got off onto the grass.
Justin Ruggie all over the back of Brad Ryan now, trying to salvage what he can from this race.
Yeah, I tell you what, Justin would be quick to try and forget about tonight. Unfortunately, things haven't gone his way. Led the times throughout the week and lost pole in the final qualifying session. Had a bit of a shocker of a start to the race, and then had two offs, and then of course that last bit of contact there with Lee Ellis. Oh, look at this battle too. Sorry, just hearing about Lee Ellis and McKnight. These guys not giving up, and Fabian's there thinking about a move up the inside of McKnight, but thinks better of it. Ooh, nose to tail action with Ellis, McKnight, Fabian and Uren.
That's some of the deepest braking I think I've ever seen in this car into that corner. All three of them.
Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from McKnight too.
Tell you that James McKnight and Fabian have got the car speed there, and so has Scott Uren actually, but they're just proving that a bit difficult to find the gap past Lee Ellis.
It's interesting to see where these guys gain their pace too, especially through that tight right-hander, the double right-hander. But well, we're hearing that Justin and Brad Ryan side by side now down the front straight. Justin will get the job done. He's got track position, and he'll take that position off Brad Ryan. So lap 23 of 24, but we've got 1.5 laps to go. And up front, it's Madison Down doing the job over Josh Muggleton. Sean Kelly in third, Lee Day fourth, Wayne Burke in fifth. Lee Ellis still holding on for this great battle between him, McKnight, Fabian, Uren and Cesarni. That's for your top 10.
I love watching them try and put the power down out of that hairpin. They're all trying to get it down as quick as possible, and it's breaking loose on them.
So one man who's enjoying the battles that are going on in front of him is Tobias Cesarni, sitting in top 10, but right behind him he's got a hungry Justin Ruggier. So all these guys keen to make some spots up, but they are running out of time because it's, as I say that, our race leader Madison Down is on lap 24, the final lap of this race.
We'll stick with Madison for this last lap.
He's done everything right, hasn't he? He didn't blink in qualifying. He managed to get the job done in final qualifying session. He got a great start and hasn't looked back.
No, it's what he's done tonight is exactly why he's won this 7 times this championship. He knows what needs to be done and when. So take me hat off to the bloke.
A nice little bounce back too. We had reports from Reece Gardner saying that these guys weren't overly happy with their car. You could see that things were moving around a little bit, and I guess out of the three, most of the night, Kelly was probably the paciest out of the lot. And unfortunately, we touched on Kelly's dramas, but it hasn't hassled the Tats.com boys. They've both done everything they had to do. Josh Muggleton started off P4 and got to P2 quick smart, and the boys haven't looked back. So a brilliant job by those two.
Yeah, it's become a pretty sort of common sight in this series for the Tats.com 1-2.
And the boys are ready to chalk up another one. Looks like they're about to get a little bit of formation going here for the Tats.com boys. It's Madison Down over Josh Muggleton, the Tats.com 1-2 here at Barber Motorsport Park. Sean Kelly will finish out the top 3. Lee Day in 4th. Wayne Burke will hold on for 5th place. Lee Ellis still got his hands full, but he'll breathe a sigh of relief if this race is over. He'll finish in 6th. James McKnight in 7th. Michael Fade in 8th. Scott Uren 9th. Tobias Cicerni will hold on over Justin Ruggier for 10th and 11th. Brad Ryan in 12th. And it's a drag race for Marlon McMullen for 13th, and Mitch Abril will finish in 14th. Leighton Fine still having a good battle here with Matt Nethercote for 15th and 16th. And Carl May will come across the line for 17th. Dean O'Brien will come across in 18th. And Dave Oliver, the last of the drivers to finish on the lead lap, will finish in 19th as he brings across his start-finish line. Nice little slideways as he comes out of the last turn. And then, of course, it's Ian Ford in 20th, Marty Atkins 21st, Dale Niche 22nd, Jason Black 23rd, Bo Cubis in 24th, and Michael Schreier in 25th. But on screen, our race winner in the Tats.com Falcon, Madison Down.
Yeah, what a race. That had a little bit of everything. Good battles all up and down the field, that's for sure. And a couple of guys that don't usually come up with the mistakes were, which... sort of gifted some spots to other guys.
Yeah, we touched on it, that we're not used to seeing little mistakes from the likes of people like Justin Ruggier, and I'll tell you what, Justin didn't have one, whoopsie, he had a couple. So a night that he's quick to forget, but at the end of the day, it's not all over for championship-wise, because you can have, I guess we can call them 4 mulligans in this series, where you can quickly forget about last week he didn't take part in last week, so that's 0 points, and he'll be quick to forget about this week too. So he's still got a couple of chances up his sleeve, so the championship's not over. But tell you what, the boys looking strong up front. Madison Down and Josh Muggleton. Muggleton was the championship leader coming into tonight's round, so those guys are really on it from the start of the season.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've hit the ground running, those two. Got over this new setup in this car, and they're doing really well.
So we've already touched on it. We'll quickly go through the final race results. It's Madison Down over Josh Muggleton, Sean Kelly, that's your top 3. Lee Day in 4th, Wayne Burke in 5th, Lee Ellis in 6th, James McKnight in 7th, Michael Fabian in 8th, Scott Uren 9th, and Tobias Cicerni rounding out your top 10. Over the page, it's Justin Ruggier in 11th, Brad Ryan 12th, Marlon McMullen in 13th, Mitch Abril in 14th, Leighton Fine in 15th, Matthew Nethercote in 16th, Carl May in 17th, Dean O'Brien in 18th, Dave Oliver in 19th, and Ian Ford in 20th. In 21st is Marty Atkins, 22nd, Dale Niche, 23rd, Jason Black, 24th, it's Bo Cubis, and in 25 it's Michael Schreier. So that's your field, and I'll tell you what, that like you said, this race had a little bit of everything.
Oh, it certainly did. Good to see a few new names too getting up in there, especially up around the top 10 area. Good couple of blokes to watch for this for the rest of the season, I think.
Right, so we've got a number of drivers that have slipped into the commentary box. We'll just quickly see who. Brad Ryan. Brad, you there, mate?
Sure am, boys. How you going?
Good, mate.
Good, mate. A bad start to your race. You didn't qualify, didn't punch out of time, so you started dead last. And what brought it home in 12th place, buddy?
Yeah, stay out of the niche for once, and it was actually good fun. Wasn't really going to race. I was just going to cheer on Sean, but he makes it sound so exciting, so I thought I'd join in.
A decent effort, buddy. What were your thoughts coming in tonight? Did you get to do too many laps, or was it just sort of a last-minute decision?
I did Wednesday night's race, so I knew where all the braking markers and all that were, and then, don't know, had some spag bowl and just felt like I wanted to race, so jumped in.
I like that. You know where the braking markers are, so you're good to race.
Well, I'd normally have a go, but I guess it worked for him when he made up those many spots. I guess it definitely pays off.
Yeah, it helps that a few of the other boys like to take them out, so it's all good. But Sean, congrats to Sean. It's pretty exciting times at LMI.
No, you guys are really stepping up. Taking it to the other guys up around the pointy end of the field. I know I do. A lot of guys enjoy watching the LMR boys fight for podiums and wins.
I'll just see who else has slipped in the commentary box. Looks like Dave Oliver's joined us too, mate. The 19th position, the last car on the lead lap. Difficult race tonight.
Yeah. Hey guys as well. Yeah, got had to slow down. I think I made one or two positions off the start, but then got caught up in the schmozzle on exit of 2 and 3. So yeah, slowed down and lost a few positions there. But yeah, then good little battle with I think it was like Leyden and around Mitch and all that kind of area, and Ian Ford, and then I think it was about 5-6 laps to go. I think Ian locked up the rears and gave me a tap, and around I went. So I lost another. I think was it Maddie, Carwin, and Dean got past. So yeah, lost 3 positions. So it wasn't that crash hot, but at least this week's over.
That's unfortunate, mate, but you have to be enjoying yourself racing with these guys.
Yeah, it's a tough battle, and that's what we're here for. So, but yeah, it's just annoying that sometimes you have your downs and all that kind of stuff. And after last week and this week, I'm definitely having down. But see what happens in the next rounds and try bounce back and see how I go.
So a number of drivers join us in the commentary box, but someone who's there as well is Marlon McMullen. Marlon, you had your fair share of dramas, and I believe you got even T-Bone there at one stage throughout tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I thought when Dean O'Brien's going to go around, the best spot for Tandem's the side of the car because it avoids a meatball, really. So lucky to get away with that one. But other than that, I mean, it's just surviving really the carnage. And I tried to do the right thing at the last corner and slow down. And a couple of other drivers chose to ignore the yellow flag, which peeved me off for a couple of laps. But you fight on and you live another day, and you have a good battle with Mitchell at the end. So we made up for it.
You mentioned before, or we heard that you were mentioning before the race, you really look after the tyres. Was that the course of action for you guys tonight, just to look after the tyres and make up positions where you can?
Well, that's it. I mean, you go out there and you just really, it's about maintaining your tyres throughout the longevity of a sprint round race. I mean, they're your biggest asset because you take away the element of a fuel stop, of course, and a pit lane entry. So you look after them and you try and utilise them at the end. I failed to do that and I struggled throughout the race, unfortunately. So, oh well.
The man we're going to talk to now is our race winner in the Tats.com Falcon, Madison Down. Mate, well done on tonight's effort.
Yeah, thanks, Sandman. It was quite a good race, but basically, won that one on the opening lap. Managed to grab pole position critically there in the final session with a personal best in the closing stages, and that made the difference. You got the inside run into turn 1, got a good start. Justin got a little bit of a shocker next to me, and basically I didn't look back from there. So I was quite lucky. I think Justin had the fastest car tonight, so bad luck to him. He had a real shocker, but great to get another one too for Tats.com Racing.
They're coming pretty thick and fast, these 1-2s, Madison. You guys would have to be pretty confident for the rest of the season. You seem to got on top of the setup pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean we've had good pace, but it hasn't been as strong as last season. Last season we were a little bit more dominant, and this season tonight could have gone very differently for us. We were struggling a little bit for setup. I was more comfortable than Muggo, and Muggo got a great start tonight and managed to get up there. But really, I don't think we had the paciest cars tonight. I think the guys at ANZ Motorsport and Justin had done a bit better job than us this week. It was just unlucky for those guys. They didn't get the result they're after. And we've also got Sean Kelly as well, knocking on the door of a race win. He's doing really well. He's been fast every round and, was easily as pacey as us tonight and VIR. So plenty of guys out there that can win the races, that's for sure.
And of course, the second part to the Tats.com 1-2, Josh Muggleton. Muggo, mate, great start off the line. Obviously, Ruggier had his dramas. We'll talk to him in a minute about that. But from 4th to 2nd, and you didn't look back.
Oh, I was looking back the whole time. No worries. I wasn't comfortable at all here this week, and came into the race thinking, I'll just salvage some points for the championship and move on to Summit Point. But yeah, got a good start and ended up in 2nd after a bit of contact with Sean. Sorry for that. I tried to turn in early not to hit you and clip the grass, and it just slid me wide into you. So bit of contact, but after that, tried to put my head down and try and make a gap, but Sean just didn't leave me alone after Justin slid off. Unlucky to him too. but yeah, just good points for the championship. Another one too for tats.com. So yeah, pretty happy.
Yeah, like I mentioned with Madison, you have to be pretty happy with the results so far. I think you'd still be leading the championship, Muggo.
I think so, yeah. But in saying that, we were pretty lucky this week. Like I said, I wasn't very comfortable at all and didn't think I had too much pace. Madison was a bit the same as well with his race set. So if things went differently off the start there, I think the results would have been very different. So, but hey, that's racing. We were on the lucky end of the ledger that time, so we'll take it and move on.
A great effort, boys. And like you said, you had your work cut out for you. Someone who was harassing the back of you, finishing third place tonight, Sean Kelly. Sean, you there, mate?
Yeah, mate. How you going?
Good, buddy. It was a brilliant battle to watch with you and Muggo. You definitely had the pace there, but unfortunately, just one little moment cost you some pace and lost a bit of time to the boys up front.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't really expecting to go after here, but this track's really hard. I don't think anyone is really comfortable around here this week.
I pick up from the driving there, Sean, that you guys are really enjoying your time at Lazy Man Race, and you got a strong contingent on track every week. You must be having a bit of fun in the garages.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have plenty of fun. It's just great to come here and do it week in, week out with these other fellas, and yeah, they keep us coming back, and we at LMA have a great time every week.
So no doubt your pace throughout the last couple of weeks, mate, you'd be looking forward to next week?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, these guys just so fast, but the car's clicking all right, sets are good, and yeah, loving the schedule. So, yeah, go to have some fun each week and see where we end up.
I'll quickly going through the order here in ninth place. Scott, you're in. Scotty, nice little return to the V8 Supercars, mate. Finish inside the top 10.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It was a great race. I had a shocker at the start, but lost a few positions, but I had a massive battle with Tobias, Michael and James, and we snuck up to lead towards the end as well after there was some mayhem. But yeah, no, tough stuff. It was a great race and really enjoyed it.
We touched on quite a bit in the broadcast. You've been away from the series for quite a bit. What's your thoughts on it? Much changed? Are you back for good?
Oh yeah, no, my move over to the UK was initially intended to be much longer, but things came up and decided to come back much more comfortable here. And mate, the competition's closed up massively. There's really close times, really great drivers, not much contact, and it was bloody good.
So can we expect to see more of you, mate?
Absolutely. If it's anything like tonight, I'll be a leech on your legs, just sticking around.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. And a man who finished right behind you, Tobias Zerny, mate. Tobias, good old battle there tonight.
Yeah, hello guys. Interesting battle. But the toughest rounds were of course my last ones when I Justin coming closer and closer in the rear view mirror, and I was looking more to the back than in front.
How are your preparations coming into this week? Is it a track you enjoy, or I know some people it's sort of one of those love-hate race tracks. Some people either love it or hate it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, not sure. I would like it more when there would be a pit stop, so you don't have to pass all the people on the track, since it is a very difficult track to pass, and also would be helpful if you can get some clean air sometimes and drive your own laps. Better, in my opinion.
Right, and someone who we normally talk to a lot earlier in the chat, probably a night you'd be pretty much ready to forget, Justin Ruggier, mate. Starting off P2, didn't quite get the start you'd wanted, and the night just started to go from bad to worse.
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, that was planned actually. I decided to leave the gearbox on the start-finish line, and then decided to throw it away a couple of times and cut the grass and run into people. So yeah, that was all planned, really. It was an absolute shocker, mate. Absolutely. I reckon I actually had I felt that I had the best car actually out there, and yeah, I had a couple of races, good practices, and awesome starts, and won by quite some margin. And yeah, I don't know, I just didn't get off the line, rode the clutch way too much, and sitting behind Josh there, just got a bit of understeer, corrected too much, and yeah, had to get on the anchors to miss the wall. And after that, yeah, it's just so hard to drive the car, just ruined the tyres. So.
We saw a few uncanny mistakes from you tonight, Justin. Were you feeling extra pressure because you knew you had probably one of the better cars out there tonight to do well?
Not pressure. It's hard to say. Like when my car, or when I'm in clean air, the car's so good. But when you follow, it just, I don't know why, I just seem to lose that aero balance that I like. So in places where I'm not on the throttle, or the throttle percentage is quite less, I've got to compensate, and I do silly things, and yeah, just like over that crest of the hill, I don't carry much throttle, but trying to pass Muggleton into that corner, just caught me out and looped it. So.
How do you bounce back from tonight, mate? Obviously disappointment. You had great pace and a good opportunity for a race win. Do you just sort of turn off the sim, go to bed, and get up tomorrow and just think about next week, or do you dwell on a little bit? How do you deal with it?
It's racing, you know what I mean? It's you sort of make these mistakes. I've been making a lot actually lately, but you can't doubt yourself, mate. I feel good. I've actually got a new wheel now and got a couple of little nice instruments that I'm using now to help me, but I'm feeling better, and I seem to be driving good in quali and sort of races earlier on, but it's sort of when I'm in the mix of things, I just got to sort of stay focused, concentrate, be patient. But when you see the leader pulling away and you're in P3, it's sort of hard to be patient and consistent. So I don't know, mate, just regroup and concentrate a lot more so we can do to bounce back and beat these guys.
All the best, mate. We know it won't be too long before you're back up front. Your pace has been sensational for many seasons now, and won't be too long before you bounce back. At the end of the day, Stu, a couple of mulligans up your sleeve. The championship's not over, and it's still early in the season. So, all good, and we look forward to seeing how you go next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Well, I think that'll almost do us. Big thank you to Reese, mate. You had your finger on the pulse all night. Thanks again.
No problem, guys. It was lots of fun tonight.
And of course, the man next to me, Brooksy, who slipped in to fill in for Jay Kennedy. Jay wasn't firing on all cylinders, but Brooksy, mate, couldn't have done it without you. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me, mate. Always a pleasure. Just hope Jay's feeling a bit better. I'm sure he'll want to be around next week for Summit Point.
And of course, the next time we hear from you is the truck series when the trucks head to Bristol, mate. Really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm probably looking forward to it more than you, Sam, man. But Bristol's going to be plenty of action on Wednesday night, so can't wait for that.
As long as I can last longer than 4 laps, I'll be happy, I think. But nevertheless, that's racing, but bring on Bristol. Of course, thanks to our man Seb behind the scenes and everyone who puts V8s Online together each and every week. We really appreciate it. But the next time we go V8 Supercar racing, we're going to head to Summit Point Raceway, 37 laps, and really looking forward to that. The guys will have their work cut out for them, but it's going to be a ripper. So make sure you tune in for that for next week. But on behalf of everyone at V8's Online Superstore, Direct Class Services, and of course V8 Supercar Fan Group, you've been watching V8 Online's live and exclusive coverage of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series. Your winner for round 3 at Barber Motorsport Park with a 1-2 Madison down.